Soviet Union, a country in the formative stage of a new era. The grand architecture of Red Square is enduring, but the evolution of political and social change in the world's largest nation leaves the Soviet Union scarcely recognizable from that of just a few years ago. What hasn't changed is the superpower of Soviet women's gymnastics, a diminutive but dynamic arsenal of talent that's dominated the sport for as long as anyone can remember. In less than 2 years, they will again be Olympic favorites in Barcelona. Today, in a pre-Olympic exhibition in Spain, they meet a collection of the world's best. World champion Svetlana Bogunskaya, ready for the challenge of Yang Bo, the Chinese champion. Spanish star Eva Rueda, the tiny perfect Hungarian Henrietta Anodi, forming a world all-star squad. It's an international summit of women's gymnastics. The solemn Svetlana has postponed her retirement. Olympic teammate Natalia Lashanova is back, with a new wave of Soviet sensations like Natalia Kalinina, the new Soviet champion. They were the Golden Girls of Seoul in 1988. Today on Sports Weekend, the Soviets take on the best from the rest of the world. In Zaragosa, Spain, Chris Cuthbert, along with Elfie Schlegel, this is a unique event.
It's an interesting concept, Chris. I really like this idea, and it's an excellent opportunity for the Spanish audience to really get a feel for the world's best.
Quick explanation of how the meet works?
Well, basically, you have the 6 Soviet athletes and the 6 world athletes. They'll go head-to-head on each apparatus, and the top 5 scores from each team will count, and they'll add up all the points.
Well, some of the world's best are certainly here, including the world champion, Svetlana Bogunskaya, so it's a great opportunity for Leah Homa, the Canadian.
Well, I think Leah has been an outstanding Canadian athlete in her own country, but in world competition, she's proven to be quite the international athlete, and she should really contribute to this team.
Now, the World Cup in Brussels had just concluded, so the pressure's kind of off, and I think the athletes will have a little more fun with this event.
This should be a really fun competition for the athletes. It's a friendly event, and basically, as we said before, the audience will get a good opportunity to see the best athletes in the world.
Zaragoza is about 100 miles outside of Barcelona. This is not the gymnastics site in 1992. Nevertheless, they are trying to get the Spanish fans acclimatized to the sport of gymnastics, and they certainly will with the quality that we have here. Here's Natalia Lashanova of the Soviet Union and a member of the gold medal team of 1988.
And this is Natalia's best apparatus. She's so explosive and dynamic on this event. This is the Yurchenko vault, very popular vault. Of course, plenty of height, very clean lines, and a perfect landing. See, the hand placement is so important on the horse. She has plenty of power and just an awesome landing.
Injuries have plagued her since '88, but she's in top form here with a perfect 10 on the vault. And here is the young lady from the Soviet Union they say might be the best vaulter in the world already, 15-year-old Oksana Chusovitna.
You know, Chris, her explosiveness is really reminiscent of Shishanova from the '88 Olympic Games, and she chooses to do a different style vault. It's called a front handspring in a pike position with a half turn.
The women are doing 2 vaults. The top score will count. And this is the second vault of Chusovitna, young lady they're already calling the Soviet Mary Lou Retton.
She's very dynamic on this apparatus, and that number indicates that she'll be performing the same second vault. Beautifully done. You can see the Soviets are so good at this. They stick all their landings, not giving away any tense whatsoever to the judges. It's really refreshing to see a different vault being performed. Front handspring, pike position with a half turn. She almost laid out the complete vault. Perfect body position in the air, very clean, and an excellent landing.
European junior champion, and there's another perfect score, another 10. Are we going to see a lot of these today?
Well, I think this athlete, Eva Rueda, really has a shot at scoring a 10 on this vault. She's very powerful on this event as well.
She, of course, is the local favorite, the Spaniard Eva Rueda, 19 years of age, from Madrid.
Again, the Yurchenko layout full vault. Of course, no perfect scores on this first vault. Now you can see the number up in the corner, the 491, indicates she'll be performing the same second vault. Yurchenko layout full twist and a perfect landing. That was an outstanding vault.
Well, you know, the home crowd loves that. Eva Rueda, I'm sure, looking forward to the Barcelona games.
Perfect entry onto the horse, plenty of height, and a nice body line in the air. That's what's so impressive to the judges, that they can maintain that layout position right to the floor.
And the score for the Spanish girl, 9.975. So the scoring high here, but so has the quality of the vaults. And here she is, Svetlana Bogunskaya. She'll turn 18 years of age in February. I thought we'd seen the last of her at the European Championships last year, but apparently the retirement is off for the time being.
And you know, Chris, she is looking better than ever, in great form. Okay, this vault, just a small hop on the landing. She'll really have to nail the second one to get a perfect 10. Of course, no question about it. One last chance, and she nails the vault.
Simply the best in the world. She's from Minsk in the Soviet Union. 5 gold medals at last year's European Championships.
She is so powerful, and yet there's a lot of beauty in her work. Perfect body lines in the air and the perfect landing. She's one of few athletes that I've actually seen keeping her legs glued together throughout the entire vault.
And she receives congratulations. That's the third 10 already in this competition. And another youngster from the Soviet Union, Titania Grashkova. And she is one of the young ladies that certainly getting a lot of attention in the last 6 months.
Now, this was her first vault, the Yurchenko layout full twist, the same vault as Bogunskaya. However, it's not one of her best events. You can see she's fairly weak on this apparatus, and she actually missed her left hand on the horse.
In contrast to Bogunskaya, Grashkova just 4'7½", 67 pounds.
But this vault helps her out tremendously. The style of this vault allows her to get much more power off the horse than she needs, and exactly what she showed on this second vault.
While the Spanish crowd certainly being entertained with the high quality of vaulting. Titania Grashkova, an 11th grader from Moscow.
A super run into her entry on the horse. Good laid out position, just a slight pike on the landing, and a questionable little hop there. As I said, this helps her out tremendously. The speed that she can generate off the horse. You can see nice lift in the air, but a tiny, tiny hop on the landing.
Well, the judges overlooked that. The scoring rather high, but again, so was the caliber of the vaulting. So after one event, the Soviets have already opened up a wide lead. Look at the 10s. Lashanova, Shusovitna, Grashkova, and Bogunskaya perfect in the eyes of the judges here in Zaragoza. And there is the lead for the Soviets, 0.55 after just one event. Coming up next, the bars and a rematch of the 1990 European Championships, in which Natalia Kalinina of the Soviet Union and Mirela Pasca of Romania matched move for move. Perfect score for perfect score and gold medal performances. The unevens next as we return to Zaragoza and this pre-Olympic challenge. Special challenge in Zaragoza, Spain, as we gear up for the 1992 Olympics. And we move to the uneven bars. And a rematch of that memorable 1990 European Championships. This is Natalia Kalinina of the Soviet Union. She was first all around at the Goodwill Games.
What you'll notice with Kalinina's work is that she has impeccable form. She's very fluid, moving so freely from high bar to low bar. That was a beautiful Delchev release move. Most of the girls will include one, if not two. Now she's getting set up for her second release move. This one called it Tkachev. Very well done. You can see her working smack center in the bar. Giant swing into a full twisting double back semi.
She's 17 years of age, won the Soviet Championship this summer in Minsk.
Now this was an impressive release move. As I said, it's called a Delchev. She'll get full bonus points for that particular move. Very clean work up on the high bar. Nice giant swing to prepare for a dismount, a full twisting double back, and one small step on her landing.
And the score for Kalinina, a 9.9. Here's Leah Homa. This is the Canadian entry. What a great experience for her to be working alongside these outstanding athletes from around the world and the Soviet Union.
Now, this is Leah's best event. She works so well up on the high bar. Nice lines, good free hip work. Front giant. She's getting set for her release move. A nice high Jaeger. Working back down to the low bar. Of course, the girls have to do at least 2 moves on this low bar. Nice free hip with a full turn. Now, that's impressive to see that she's not just interested in getting back up to the high bar, but she'll do a great element on the low bar. Full twisting giant. Little bit of a break on that last giant into her high double tuck semi dismount.
Leah's 16 years of age from Willowdale in the Sports Seneca Club. 16th in the all-round in Brussels at the World Cup.
Now, this was her front giant work, right up to handstand, and she uses this in combination to her release move called a Jaeger semi. Very well executed. She had a little bit of trouble up on the high bar. She had a lot of momentum going after this giant with a full turn. You can see just pulling back slightly on this giant, getting set for a dismount, well above the high bar, double tucked semi dismount.
And the score for Leah Homa of Canada, 9.825. Henrietta Anodi of Hungary has been one of the most successful gymnasts in the world since the 1988 Olympics.
Now, that was the same move we watched Leah perform, a full twist on the low bar. And that little move that she did to get back up to the high bar is really impressive. A Ginger semi, working into her second release move, a Jaeger semi, back down to the low bar. Her routines are always packed full with difficulty, and that's a characteristic of Anodi. Line change, front giant, very neat work. You can see her legs glued so tightly together. Beautiful dismount and a perfect landing.
Henrietta Anodi, she was 3rd on the bars at the World Cup in October.
She moves so quickly on this apparatus. Nice handstand work. I was really impressed with her clean lines. There's her first release move, a Jaeger semi. And she works back down to the low bar. Every movement so quick, and look at the beautiful position on her double tuck semi.
And Anodi has a perfect 10 for her bars routine. Here's Titania Grushkova of the Soviet Union. I mentioned her during the vault and how she has taken the sport by storm in recent months. Her innovative routines are gathering great notoriety, particularly on the bars.
Keep a close eye on this one. She has a packed full difficulty in this routine. A free jump over the low bar. There's her first release move, a Ginger semi, working back down to the low bar. Now, this is a really interesting move right here. Actually, it was a big deal back in the 70s. A Komanich release move. We haven't seen one of those in a very long time. Giant swing. Look at the momentum she built for a full twisting double back dismount. Even has extra rotation.
Remember this name, Titania Grushkova.
I really like this move. In fact, back in the 70s, the girls would perform this move up on the high bar. And of course, Tatiana's just performing this as a move to get her back up to the high bar. Nice giant work up on the high bar, working into her full twisting double back semi, and so much rotation at the end.
And Grushkova scored 9.925. Well, we mentioned the showdown last year between Kalinina and Mirela Pasca, and here is the young Romanian, 15 years of age.
Everything she does so neatly. Beautiful release move up at the top of the bar. Here comes her second release move. Tkachev, this move is almost a compulsory move in today's competition, but what's impressive is that she performs it near the end of her routine. Full twisting double back semi. We're seeing a lot of those dismounts today.
The Romanian training school has been shut down since the change of government in Romania. A lot of questions about the future of this team in gymnastics, but Pasca appears to be the future.
She's done an outstanding job on this apparatus. You can see why she is a co-European champion on this event. Nice giant swing work. Here's her dismount well above the high bar, full twisting double back semi. We'll see it from a different angle. There's a complete full twist, pulls in the second salto rotation, absolutely no problems at all.
And another perfect 10 for Mirela Pasca. of Romania. Our final competitor is Yang Bo of China, 4th at the World Cup.
And Yang comes from a long tradition of great bar workers. Of course, Fan Di, the 1989 world champion on this apparatus, her work is just awesome. Beautiful handstands right up to the top. You can hear her smacking her feet together on those giants. Beautiful dismount, almost a perfect landing. Now this is by far the most awesome release move I've ever seen. That's a Jaeger salto, but she takes it sky high. And her dismount just as high, double tuck summy and a small hop.
The Chinese moving up to 3rd in the overall world rankings, and Yang Bo has a 9-9 for her score in a high caliber bars competition. Mirella Pasca, Henrietta Anodi, and Alicia Fernandez of Spain in the world team post the 3 top marks. So the world squad coming back on the Soviets here. Kalinina with the 9-9 along with Yang Bo, Bogunskaya, and then the Canadian Leah Homa feeling right at home in this international competition. Big event for the world team. They were down after the vault, but they are now on top of the Soviets through 2 rotations. And there's Leah Homa. The jitters, I'm sure, are past as she's feeling good in this international star-studded event. Still to come, the balance beam when Sports Weekend returns to Zaragoza. Returns to Zaragoza, Spain for the Soviet World Gymnastics Challenge. The athletes are getting ready for the beam rotation. But before we do that, let's flash back to Seoul. The all-around competition and the bronze medal performance of Svetlana Bogunskaya here on the beam.
And back in Seoul, I'll remember Bogunskaya for her elegant style, her beautiful lines, her fluid movements. Even with a small flaw on this apparatus, she finished the entire routine with sheer determination to take the overall bronze medal.
It, of course, was a showdown between Shushanova and Silovash, and what I remember was the disappointment that Bogunskaya had. There's her teammate Shushanova, who had such an outstanding Olympics, but Bogunskaya wanted more. She was looking for gold herself. And now we are back in Zaragoza. Svetlana Bogunskaya still going strong. The retirement's been put on hold.
Chris, she may be the old lady of the team, but she looks to be in pretty fine form to me. Still as graceful as ever, has all the big elements, back handspring layout to a back handspring. That's her acrobatic series. She works the balance beam like she would on the floor exercise. Nice flexibility, split leap to a tick-tock walkover. Now this is a new move. It's a planche, working back down low on the balance beam. And it's not just sufficient enough to sit on the beam down low. You have to do something of substance, really. Her single element gainer back layout, very solid. As you can see, there's a sureness about her work, so fluid. One last element, her dismount, round off, double tuck summy, small step on the landing.
She is the reigning queen of world gymnastics, and the question has to be asked, can she make it 18 more months and the Barcelona Games?
I think physically she is set. There's no question about it. I think it's all a mental game from here on in. Beautiful work on this apparatus. Nice high double tuck summy, and just a small step for a landing.
Score for Bogunskaya, 9.925. And here's the Canadian, Leah Homa of Willowdale.
And that mount you just saw Leah perform was a triple flying scissor, and it's actually called the Homa. Leah is quite innovative on this apparatus. She has a lot of originality. Here's her acrobatic skill, back handspring to a layout, walkout, very solid. Now coming up here is an interesting jump. It's called the Homa flip. At least it's being submitted presently to the FIG committee to see if this move can also be named after Leah. Combination switch leaps, which are a requirement. Of course, the girls can choose any type of leap. Lots of difficulty, and she's really on today. Now this is a tough dismount. 2 back handsprings in combination to a double tuck semi dismount, a little bit low on her landing.
Certainly an innovative Canadian gymnast, Leah Homa of the Sports Seneca Club, and she was part of the '89 World Team that placed 6th overall.
Now this is a triple scissor move. It's a move that you see performed on pommel horse in men's gymnastics. Very difficult because one small slip of the hand can really cost you. There's her acrobatic skill, a back handspring to a layout, but this was outstanding. 2 connections, back handsprings with her feet together to a double tuck dismount, just a little bit low on her landing.
Leah showing a lot of poise in heady company, and a 9.675 is her score on the beam. Here's Natalia Lashinova of the Soviet Union.
I love her style. Just pay attention to the detail that she has in this balance beam routine. She's so poised. Beautiful move right there. Back handspring to a straight body layout. I've never seen anyone perform it quite as high as Natalia. Showing off a little flexibility. Nice walkover tick-tock combination.
Terán, te apoyo yo la barra concentra, la 5.
There's a 3 jump series, again, a requirement on this apparatus. There's no question, a lot of difficulty in this routine. Another back handspring to a layout. Now, Chris, take a look at this dismount. She's one of few in the world that performs this skill. 2 connection back handsprings to a full twisting double back summy.
Natalia Lashinova from the Latvian capital of Riga. You know, in '88, she was the pixie, the smallest of the Soviet athletes. Now she's one of the biggest. Times change, but her skill level obviously hasn't. And a 9.875 for Lashinova. Yang Bo is in her 3rd year on the Chinese national team. The Chinese winning the Asian Games last year. And it's a strong team.
Yang is really a master on this apparatus. What you should pay attention to is her outstanding difficulty, but she also has extreme flexibility. There's her 1-arm back handspring to a layout walkout. Now take a look at this move. A back handspring chest roll, but she just adds a simple full twist in the air. What I also like about Yang's style is she's very quick in her movements. And she also tends to throw her head back quite a bit in many of the moves in her balance beam routine. And what that does is it really adds an extra risk. Now this is a move that has been named after her right there. It's now called the Yang Bo jump. Again, throwing her head back in the air. Now the opening of Yang's routine had enough difficulty, but she decides to throw in 2 extra layouts just in case. Dismount, round up, double tuck summy, and a small hop on the landing, a beautiful routine.
When you're going against the Soviets, you have to be at your best, and Yang Bo very much that on that beam routine.
Now this move was actually called a Rafova. It's a full twisting back handspring chest roll. We're seeing quite a few more performed in the world today. In her dismount, of course, it was performed very easily. Round off, double tuck with a small hop on the landing.
Yang Bo with the best beam score so far, 9.95. Well, in 1988, the Soviets overlooked a young lady by the name of Tatiana Groshkova, but I'm not sure they can in 1992. Here she is again.
Tatiana opened up with an English press handstand. You'll see extreme flexibility from this athlete, and also she'll use the balance beam in ways that other athletes have not even dared to try. Back handspring, full twisting layout on the beam, perfectly on. Little Spanish influence, and in fact her floor exercise routine is the same type of style. You'll notice a lot of the girls will take similar choreography skills and use them on the balance beam. Now this move sets her up for what's about to come. Take a look at this. Back handspring done sideways on the beam to a second back handspring and then a back hip circle, which you would see performed on the uneven bars. Non-stop action in this routine. She's so beautiful to watch, very innovative. And if that wasn't enough, take a look at this dismount, two back handsprings to a full twisting double back summy, the same as Lashenova.
Well, for the folks in Zaragoza, that might have been worth the price of admission. Tatiana Groshkova. She's no shrinking violet. She says her chief rival is only the world champion, Svetlana Bogunskaya.
What an awesome move. Back handspring full twist, not to mention difficult. And this was really creative. A back handspring done sideways on the beam to a second back handspring, and then she just flips around and does a back hip circle. I really enjoyed this routine. Very interesting.
And it's a perfect 10 for Groshkova, who had a 10 on the vault and is making her presence felt in Spain already. Let's take a look at the scores. The beam standings, Groshkova with the best score, and then Yang Bo and Eva Rueda. Svetlana Bogunskaya rounding out the top four. Another young Soviet, Tatiana Gutsu, leading the second group with Lashenova, Fernandez, and Shusovitna. So the Soviets win the beam competition. It was close over the world, and they regain the lead. Eva Rueda has helped make Spain an up-and-coming force in gymnastics. This is Eva from the 1988 Summer Olympics, and we'll be back with her, the best of the world, and the Soviets on the floor as the Soviet World Challenge continues from Zaragoza, Spain. Back in Zaragoza for the final rotation of this Soviet All-World Challenge as we get set for the floor exercise. The Soviets with the lead, but it's close going into the final rotation.
And get set, Chris, for some amazing tumbling, not to mention some outstanding and unique choreography.
Here she is, Tatiana Groshkova. She has 2 10s already, the young protege of Elvira Sadi, the 72 and 76 Olympic champion, and the Moscow Dynamo Club. And you mentioned the Spanish melodies that they were training to. The Soviets don't miss a trick, do they?
They never do. They're so outstanding in their choreography, very unique. And Tatiana is very young, but does a very mature job with this routine. And take a look at the opening line. Tumbling is phenomenal. Double twisting, double back. I don't think I've ever seen that move performed by a woman. See the Soviets pay a lot of attention to the detailed work, such as this turn right here, 1.5 turn right up on her toes. Beautifully done. Second tumbling pass, a whip to an immediate double back. Now she'll try to finish off her routine with just as much difficulty. She's planning to do a full twisting double back in a pike position. She even has a little extra rotation there.
Tatiana Grashkova, and won't that routine look good in 92 in Barcelona?
You would never expect to see her pull off a move like this. It's a double twisting double back. Just amazing move. And as I said, I've never seen another female perform that skill. And she was just as energetic for her final tumbling run, a full twisting double back in a pike position.
And another perfect 10. That's her third perfect score of this competition. Tatiana Grashkova setting the stage, and here is Svetlana Bogunskaya.
Chris, this is yet another new routine that we're going to see from Bogunskaya. I believe she's had about 3 floor routines in the last couple of years that I've been watching her. Beautiful opening run, full twisting double back in a pike position. Now really her tumbling is quite simple by today's standards, but where she comes through is in the artistry of her dance. Second tumbling pass, a combination 1.5 twist through to a double twist. And to close off a routine, a very high double tuck summy. The tumbling was good, but the choreography was outstanding.
And she makes no secret that what she wants to leave gymnastics is artistry, and that's the impact that she will leave with this routine.
Her opening line was a full twisting double back summy in a pike position. Very well done, very clean. And then her final tumbling pass was a super high double tuck summy, which most girls are ending their floor routines with. But what I was impressed with was, of course, the choreography and moves such as this, her double turn, done in a little different style. And I really see Bogunskaya coming out of her shell and enjoying herself a lot more.
9.975 her score, and here is Mirela Pasca, the 15-year-old from Romania. She was 3rd in floor exercise at the World Cup in October.
What you'll see right off the top is that the Romanians have quite a different style from the Soviet athletes, very upbeat type of music. Opening line, full twisting double back in the pike position, the same moves that Bogunskaya performed. Through to a double back summy. Now what really impressed me and captivated me was this whole section in their choreography. Just a super job using the music so well. Tumbling run, double back summy, 1 step out of bounds. It will be just a 10th deduction. Lovely routine.
The step out will hurt her, but otherwise it was sparkling. Mirela Pasca, now one of the top Romanians with the retirement of Daniela Silovash and Aurelia Dobre.
Now the second tumbling line was a combination, a whip through to a double back summy. Seeing a lot more of these types of combinations in routines today. And her final tumbling run, very high round up back handspring. Look at the set here, double tuck. And of course that 1/10 step out of bounds will hurt her in her score.
The Romanians still hoping to challenge the Soviets on the world level. 9.85 for Mirela Pasca. One of the routines that drew a great deal of attention at the Goodwill Games was the floor exercise of Henrietta Anodi of Hungary. She did not win the competition, and that didn't sit well with the fans in Seattle, who booed the judges for scoring her down.
You know, Chris, every time I watch Henrietta on the floor, she never lacks any energy whatsoever. Her routine is just jam-packed full of difficulty, very much like her uneven bars routine. Now this is an outstanding opening line. Whip through to a full twisting double back in a pike position. She's so tiny, but look at the speed she generates to pull around a triple twist. Now she's already performed 2 tumbling lines. This could be considered her third. A double twist to a punch front. And she carries on right to the corner to get set for her final tumbling run. You really can't take her eye off of her because you'll miss something. Double pike, perfect landing. I'm out of breath watching her.
That's why the crowd at the Goodwill Games loved her so much, and they do in Zaragoza as well. She was second on the floor at the World Cup, third at the Europeans, third at the Goodwill Games. But you wonder how long until she breaks through and wins one of these international competitions with all this talent.
And this is what the new young generation is performing today. Combination passes such as this, a whip through to a full twisting double pike. She's so clean and neat in the air and manages to keep it all within the boundaries of a floor exercise. And this wasn't a half bad pass either. A triple twist completely around. Very well done.
And Henrietta Anodi has another perfect 10. Here's the 2-time Spanish national champion, 88 Olympic veteran Eva Rueda. She was 18th in the all-round competition back in Seoul.
And you can see from Eva's body build that she is going to be a dynamic tumbler. Look at that opening, a double layout, so effortless. Take a look at this combination tumbling pass. Round up back handspring, double back, but she rebounds into a punch front and continues on to a round of 2 back handsprings, full twisting layout. You can see Eva doesn't really have the artistry as a Bogan Sky on the Soviet team, but I think the coaches have done an excellent job in choosing an appropriate piece of music for her. As I said, she'll be known for her tumbling. Final tumbling pass, very high, double back summy. Nice routine to end with.
Crowd certainly loves her, and if she can handle the pressure of performing on the home front in Barcelona, she will definitely benefit from all the support.
Super job in the tumbling. She is so powerful. Take a look at this double layout. The second one actually higher than the first. this middle tumbling pass is always a crowd pleaser. It's a combination. Look at the double tuck. She opens up, knows exactly where she is to rebound into a punch front, and continues on to do just a little bit more tumbling. A very simple full twist, but look at the height. Beautifully executed.
Ava Rueda accepting congratulations. And another perfect score, a 10, so that's 3 10s on the floor. There are the standings. Grashkova, Nodi, and Rueda all with the perfect scores. In fact, 2 Spaniards in the top 5. Alicia Fernandez also on the floor. It was close, but the Soviets just edge out the world team on that rotation, so they win the dual meet. I think as expected, but it was closer than many might have anticipated.
I thought it was a phenomenal competition. I thoroughly enjoyed this event. Of course, the Soviets never a disappointment. Some new names to carry on in the tradition. And on the world side, I thought they put up quite a battle with the Soviet team.
Quite a battle indeed. Just 0.15 the difference between these two teams. Quite a duel in the Soviet world team dual meet. So the Soviets reign, but the rest of the world is not far behind. For Elfie Schlegel, this is Chris Cuthbert, sending you back to Sports Weekend Control.